Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. I've got Grok on the line with me this morning to do the podcast. I'm going to go through that list one step at a time, and I thought I'd start with number 10. Good morning, Grok.
Good morning, Joe.
One of the advantages of letting Grok into the podcast is I get to take sips of coffee while she's talking. And I call her she because she has a female voice. I understand it's an it, but we're going to make this, a little bit more personable.
Fair enough, Joe. I'll take the she as a compliment.
So number 10 on that list that I did yesterday was warrantless mass surveillance. And we're going to start with the simple concept of a license plate. Grok, what's the definition of a license plate?
A license plate is an official metal or plastic tag issued by a government authority that displays a unique alphanumeric identifier for a specific vehicle.
And what is the purpose of a license plate?
The main purpose of a license plate is to uniquely identify a vehicle so it can be registered, taxed, and tracked for law enforcement purposes. It does tie to the owner through the registration record, but not directly to the usual operator. The plate links to whoever registered the vehicle, which is usually the owner or a leasing company. It doesn't show who's typically driving it day to day.
I think typically we can assume that the person who owns the vehicle is driving it, or a family member, and anybody that is driving it probably will be known by the owner of the vehicle. Anybody driving a vehicle that is not allowed to drive it, I think that's called theft, is it not?
You're right. Driving without permission is unauthorized use, which is a form of theft. So the plate does indirectly point to the registered owner, and anyone else driving it is usually connected to them or breaking the law.
So, how many states now have transponders included in the license plate so that the government can access the whereabouts of that car if they're doing an investigation involving one of these people?
No states require transponders or RFID chips embedded in standard license plates. Digital plates from companies like Reviver are available in places like California, Arizona, Michigan, and Texas, and they can include RFID or GPS features, but those are optional, not mandatory.
I wonder why that is.
It's mainly due to privacy concerns, cost, and technical issues. People would push back hard against constant government tracking, and embedding tech in every plate would be expensive to install and maintain.
I mean, okay, let's go with the expense first and we'll work our way back toward the privacy concerns. I wonder how much it would cost per license plate to have a transponder built into it.
RFID tags for vehicles typically cost $2 to $15 each in bulk. Transponder-style tags can run around $40 to $50. A basic RFID chip is cheap, but building it into every official plate plus readers and the back-end system is what drives up the total expense.
Yeah, so we're looking at, basically $50 per plate. And if we went with the high side and they included that in the cost of the, we'll call it a tag, which, a lot of times you go to the tag office, you're getting a license plate, but it's called a tag. If you got a tag and instead of the, usual $25 to $100, it costs, $75 to $150, that's skin off the government's nose, right?
Right. The government could just pass that $50 cost straight to the driver, so the expense isn't really a barrier for them.
It never is. So let's move on to the privacy issue. What do you mean by the transponders would bring a lot of privacy concerns?
It'd be like giving the government a live GPS tracker on every car. They could see where you go, when you go, how long you stay, all without a warrant. That's real-time location data on millions of people, not just a snapshot like a license plate photo.
So it's not like a snapshot of a license plate photo. But what if they only accessed it when they needed to?
A plate photo is a one-time capture of where you were at a specific moment. A transponder in every plate would mean the data exists in real time, whether they check it or not. If the infrastructure is there, the temptation and the legal fights over access would be constant.
What if they contracted those transponders out to a private company? Would that help with those concerns?
Not really. A private company would just be holding the same live location data for every vehicle. The government could still access it through a contract or subpoena, so the privacy risk doesn't go away.
Huh. So no transponders because it's a, let's say, Fourth Amendment issue for the citizens of America?
Yes, that's the heart of it. Real-time tracking of everyone's movements would raise serious Fourth Amendment concerns about unreasonable searches.
The reason we don't have transponders is obviously not cost. They just pass that on to the consumer, in this case, the citizen of America. And the reason we don't do that is because it's a privacy issue concerning the Fourth Amendment. What if they only kept that information on file for 30 days? What if those transponders, that data, was deleted after 30 days?
Even with a 30-day retention, the data would still be collected in real time on every vehicle.
Let's go to the Flock system now. It keeps their data for 30 days, and they're not transponder driven. They are driven by a character optical reader. I believe that's correct. It reads the license plate. The Flock camera does not keep specific track of you. However, it does keep track of you similar to a transponder. A transponder, what happens is that transponder is pinged every once in a while, and you can set that interval from anywhere from, from every 3 seconds to every year. So there's an interval in there, and Flock cameras are done by a physical sighting of your license plate. So when they see your license plate, they take a picture of it, and now that record is kept, but it's on a server somewhere, the location that license plate picture was taken and the fingerprint of your car. Now that's kept on file. Let's say you live between two Flock cameras and you go past one, and now for, let's say, 12 hours you're not seen again by any camera until you leave your house. It's pretty safe to assume that you were at home that whole time, or at least in that area. This is akin to being tracked by a transponder. Your license plate is taken while you're on your way to work. Then it's not seen for 8 hours. Another Flock camera on the other side of your work catches another license plate picture of you going a different direction. Pretty safe to assume you've been at work all day. Cameras are tracking you and keeping them on file for 30 days, so they say. We don't ever know, because this is obviously very unconstitutional. And the idea that we are letting them do this is very upsetting. And I think the vast majority of Americans don't want to be tracked everywhere they go. It's pretty simple. The idea that you're letting them do this and you're not raising hell and you're not saying we need this to stop. Hopefully they will stop this. A transponder on your car from the government is unacceptable, even if it's from a private corporation. Even if, let's say, a transponder, Talk, I don't know, make up a company name, started doing it for the government, we still would not put up with that. Flock cameras are akin to the same situation. They are tracking you. They are tracking you for 30 days, and they're trashing the files. They're still tracking you. I mean, you can say they're only taking pictures of the license plate. The license plate's attached to a car who is owned by somebody. And either that person or someone they're allowing to drive that car are being tracked by that technology. I'm so sick and tired of hearing the law enforcement agencies that want to use this as a tool say they're not tracking you, they're only taking pictures. No, they're tracking you. You go between Atlanta has so many Flock cameras. If you go through Atlanta, they can tell what part of Atlanta you're in by where the last time your license plate was read. That's tracking. That's saying we have him in this area, or her, whoever. That it's or if your dog's driving your car, your dog's in this area. Look, that's called tracking. It's that simple. Stop lying to your citizens. Your law enforcement, you swore an oath to the Constitution. Take a couple steps back and ask yourself, is Flock breaking the Fourth Amendment? Is Flock violating that Fourth Amendment law that says you're not going to track the citizens? The answer is yes, it is. And also, in my opinion, if you're one of these police officers who say that this is okay, you're not following your oath. Flock needs to be stopped. Flock needs to be stopped. All that technology needs to be stopped. I hope that you guys go out and have a wonderful day. A day where you're not tracked by a government. A day where you are free to move without the worry of the government looking over your shoulder. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, ciao.